Hope you guys enjoyed this roundtable interview talking about markets, tips, no trips, what drivers should be taking, why it's all dependent upon you, and nobody should really dictate your earnings but yourself. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are getting some kind of value from this. Doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong. Is it all just market dependent, right? Why are we watching YouTube? Is it get tips and tricks? Is it for relatability? Is it for entertainment? There's a lot of different great channels that do good things in different ways, right? But at the end of the day, my advice, not even my advice, because it is what it is, right? You got to do what works for you in your market. Be willing to try this or try that. But I do think you have control. I think I've shown that on this channel, and I do think that you have to be willing to try different things. Maybe Doordash is for you. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it from my experience because I do well without it, but that doesn't mean it cannot work for you, right? So try what we try. I think next month's going to be very interesting to see the profitability from a cherry picker to a Doordash, or the profits now, and to stack those up against. I can't wait for that. I think that's going to be really helpful for some people. So let's bring in the panel. So we have Thomas, KF, Leveling Up with Levi. We got Let's Play Doordash, and we have The Driven Dad. Gentlemen, how are we tonight?
Doing good, guys.
Good. So first we'll start with Thomas, and then go to KF, okay? Because I know those guys have been waiting. Appreciate you guys for waiting. What do you guys got going on tonight? What do you think about the topics? Thomas, we'll start with you. Oh, hold on. I think you're muted. Hold on one second. Thomas, if you can unmute your mic, then you can talk. Or put headphones on, but it says you're muted. Okay, so I'm gonna go to KF. KF, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Pedro. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you hanging on, waiting. What do you think about the topics tonight? What would you like to talk about?
Okay, so I think the topics are great. I think that the conversation about the algorithm is going to be a lot of speculation. I think it's kind of like watching, Monday morning armchair quarterback with Skip Bayless or whoever.
Yeah.
We're kind of all like Stephen A. Smith. We're all kind of sitting on the sidelines trying to speculate as to how this thing really plays out. I think at the end of the day, cherry picking for me. Shout out to everybody from the Austin market, Texas, Central Texas market. I'm in Austin, Texas. Okay, so what we deal with here in this market is that during the summertime, most of the University of Texas students are out of the city, which greatly affects service industry, hospitality, so forth, and traffic, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. So during the summertime here in Austin, Texas, what I learned very quickly is you have to multi-app and you have to stack amongst those apps at the same time. Now, I use two phones. I split one phone, an Android phone with Doordash. I take the other one for Uber Eats, and I do Uber X and Lyft as well. Spark is not available too much in the Austin market because it's all filled up. I tried signing up. I'm still on the waiting list. And I don't do Grubhub, and I don't do Amazon Flex. I can tell you this much, that for me, cherry picking, when I started watching your videos and I started seeing what you were trying to basically make minimum in terms of dollars per mile ratio, I saw that I immediately jumped up like $5 in 2 weeks just by implementing strategic ways of taking orders that were either going to round out trips or that were going to be at a minimum of dollars per mile. Yeah. And what my thing about profitability is this, Pedro. I'm a firm believer in everybody's expenses are going to be different. Some people are delivering with sedans. Some people are delivering with SUVs, right? Some people are only doing food delivery. Some people are doing all types of variety, right? Mm-hmm. Some people are going to have different gas mileage that are going to cost their expenses more, thus reducing their profitability. Some are going to have greater, right? Some people might be using electric vehicles. I use a 2013 Nissan Juke. It's kind of cool. It's a four-banger. It gets me about 26 to 20 miles per gallon. Mm-hmm. I can usually squeeze out about $240 to $260 out of a full tank of gas, and then I just subtract about $35 for a full tank of gas in my market right now.
Yeah, that's a little better than mine because I'm getting about 22 to 24, 25 miles per gallon. So but your fuel cost is a big indicator for the profits for sure. And hey, I gotta say, I love the analogy you gave in the beginning because I thought about saying something like the whole sports analogy, or everybody's got an opinion. Everybody has a different percent, and I think YouTube's no different. And I think in even other genres of YouTube, different niches, we see the same thing, right? And I think that's what's great about YouTube. Not everybody's going to have the right opinion, or not right opinion, the same opinion, and not everybody's going to be right all the time. Not everybody's going to like each other. That's okay. We have to understand that that's got to be okay. So
yeah, Pedro, here's what I would try and challenge the community that's watching online tonight is, instead of the narrative in terms of asking about algorithm or asking about Top Dasher in terms of your subjects for the evening, just to answer your question a little bit more fully without dancing around the bush, I think those are very important questions. I think for me, from my perspective, because I'm a little bit on the newer end, I would love to see some of your dashers here that are loaded up explain to me how you're stacking orders amongst apps at the same time, like between Uber Eats and Doordash simultaneously. So if you're in a slow market right now, which Austin, up until recently, before the UT students started moving in this weekend, I think, and we had Pride weekend, we had slow orders, right? So what I started doing was I would run both apps at the same time. I'm taking orders from both apps if they make sense in terms of a direction and dollars to miles, right? So my thing is, I would love to see us come up with more strategic ways of elevating our community and elevating drivers that are newer, so that we can be on a Pedro level or a Dash guy level or a whoever the top guys are that are doing content online. Because I think that in terms of the figuring out the algorithm or what's best in terms of Top Dasher or cherry picking, I think that these are all going to involve, like you said, so many variables and things that are going to be unique to each market and unique to each driver's experience.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Thomas, are you there? Thomas, can you hear
me, Pedro? What's good?
Yeah. How you doing, man? Can you hear me? Okay, so your mic got figured out. So what do you say to what KF is saying there, and also what do you think about and Levi and Joe chime in as well? What do you think about these markets and stacking and is everything just market dependent? Does anybody really know the algorithm? Like, let's just have an open conversation about some of that. I'll start with you, Thomas.
Yeah.
Thomas, you there?
Well, yeah, I agree with what he said.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute you because you're breaking up. Hold on, I'm gonna mute you because you're breaking up a little bit there. So, Levi, what do you say? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead. So, let's Levi and Joe. What do you guys say about that?
I think what was y'all talking? To be honest with you, I jumped in halfway through your show, so I didn't get to hear the topic. I didn't think I was going to jump on. I just want to jump on, brother. So I got.
Oh, see, look, you're not even prepared. What's going on?
Bro, I've been trying
I got you. Listen. So this is what's going on. So we have people that are basically, top dashing, saying they love it. Everybody should try it, because you get priority to high paying orders. And then you have cherry pickers that are saying, well, I make good money already. Where do you, what are you first? And then do you think that one is better than the other? And then also, do you think everything is just market dependent? Do you think we're all just speculating and each market's very different?
I'll just be that guy. I'll just go ahead and say 100% say the top dashers are not making money like they think they are. So.
Okay, so let me stop you there. Why do you say that? Because you seem very confident in saying that.
Well, just watch people like you, first of all, for how long you've been on YouTube. And then I used to run Doordash obviously a lot. And, these guys are taking 250 orders. They think, they're not taking that big of a loss because they're getting more orders quicker or whatever they think. But, they were driving a lot of miles, so.
Sometimes I think some of them are, maybe some of them aren't. Some of them would say their rebuttal would be, well, I only do it for 2-3 days out of the month at the end of the month. So then for the other 27 days, I see really great orders. So, it kind of balances out for them, or it's I don't know. I think, what do you say to the markets, right? So what market are you getting, Levi? Remind me.
Basically Hickson, Tennessee.
Okay, Tennessee. So smaller market than me, right? So don't you think that our markets, being different populations, different demographics, different ordering patterns, maybe different seasons, different time zones, don't you think it could just be that the markets are different and one person could make this here, could work for them there, maybe it doesn't work for you in Tennessee? What do you say to that?
Maybe I'm just crazy or something, but I just think math is math. And I just think them taking them 250 orders, man, it's a joke.
I agree. Math is math. I think if you take too many of them, if you take too many of them, you can't be profitable. That's my opinion on it. Joe, jump in on here. What do you think? What do you think, man?
Yeah, man. I believe it's market specific, and honestly, I think what's right. The only thing that's right is what's right for you as an individual. You got to get out there and explore, see what's happening in your market, see what's popping, and do what's right for you. Make those decisions that matter to you, and stop listening to all us other gig tubers and what we're doing and think, oh man, he's doing that. If I do that, I'm going to get the same results. Because I've got people in my market that watch my channel, and they just don't do as good as me. And I don't know. I'm not there with them, so I don't know what decisions they're making or not making. But I know I'm lucky to be in my market, right? I'm in the Metro Detroit area, and it's populated. There are orders everywhere, constantly, all day, all night long. And if you know how to pick and choose the right ones that are right for you, and you know where they're going, where they're going to leave you off, and where you might pick up that next nice big order, you can make some serious good money out here. I've been killing it. So it just boils down to doing what's right for you, making those decisions yourself. I mean, we're independent contractors, so it's up to us what happens at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And if I sit here worrying about, well, Pedro, you're going to call me a clown because I'm doing this, it just takes away from doing what's right for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point. I think it's a great point. And I think that at the end of the day, you have to we all have personal responsibility. You got to do what's good for Joe, right? And if you're, my only 100%. Thing is, I will continue to challenge this, and I'm going to do a better job of, are you making profit though? Like, because if you're not, okay, hold up. Like, if you're happy with making $10 an hour, hey, that's cool. I'm not going to judge you, but it's going to catch up to you. It's probably going to catch up to you at some point. If you're not making profits in the gig economy, it's going to catch up to you. And I don't want to be like, I told you so, but like, that's just a fact of mathematics and the economics. So that's why I push for that. If you take too many $2, $3, and even $4 orders, it's going to be really hard to get your cash flow at the end of the day to look good, because you're probably burning through more fuel. You're beating your car up a little bit more. You got more opportunities for a customer to say they didn't get their food, because a lot of the low tipping customers, that's what they do sometimes, and the drop-offs are hard. So I think it's a good point. You're talking about internalizing and just saying, hey, I got to do what I got to do. Forget what Pedro says. Forget what Joe says up in Detroit. Like, I got to learn my market. I'll take some of their things, their nuances here and there, but hey, that might not work for me. Good that it works for them, but maybe I got something else going on. And if you're making profits, I cheers to anybody that's actually making money out there, because it's not easy. I think anybody can do this job, but I don't think it's easy to make profit with it. That's how I feel, at least, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Right.
Thomas, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yo, can you hear me now, Pedro?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you? Sorry, I'm taking an order right now, so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Not very good over there.
You want to jump in on this topic and what you've been hearing?
I mean, I kind of agree with, because in my market, I'm in Vegas, and I just can't take $2.50 orders. So I like to cherry pick, and I'm built the app, so even orders that are worthwhile pretty much every 20-30 minutes. So
yeah,
I just can't make any money taking the orders.
It's hard to make money when you take too many of them. I think that's.
I agree. You said it was market. It can be market specific as well.
I think it can be, because I think we have.
I'm gonna go, Pedro, because I'm not even busy, but.
No, you're good, man. Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in. Safe driving, brother. All right, I'm gonna bring the Tony, the Driven Dad, in real quick and see if he's. Can you unmute yourself, Tony, if you can hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing, man? How's it going? Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I'm doing well. How are you all doing?
I'm good. So you want to share with us, first off, well, I'll give you a little intro. For those of you that know, this is the Driven Dad. He's got an awesome channel. He's doing the Top Dasher Challenges, he calls it. I believe he just did his 10th day, right?
Right, yeah.
Loving it, Tony.
I did that earlier this week, but yeah, definitely got 10 days left to do 5 a day.
Yeah. And how do you feel now that you're halfway there, right? How you feel? What are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, it's a lot better than it was last year as far as doing things, but I'm just doing 5 orders at a time. I don't rely on Doordash because I mainly do rideshare now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I figured, I could take it easy, document how many miles I'm using and how long it's going to take, and just give a general, this is about what it's going to take to get you the Top Dasher, and amount of time and effort and expense. But I think it's a little bit different when you're crunching it down into 5 to 3 days.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, you're going to have to work some dead shifts where you're not just cherry picking either lunch or dinner shifts.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I think the way you're doing it's going to be unique, but I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think when you get to that, because you're going for 100%, correct?
Right.
Right.
So the tippy
right.
top.
Right. So when you get to that top of the pyramid, right, and you're looking down on most of the other dashers in your area, you should be, in theory, based on what some people are saying and experiencing, you should be seeing better paying offers, right? So that's kind of what you're looking to see that happens, right? And also,
if it happens, I'm going to change my name to King Tut instead of. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm curious to see if you get into the big bag program, Tony. That's the thing I'm wondering about.
As soon as I hit the requirements for that, I'm not going to wait for Top Dasher to hit before I give them a call.
Yeah, definitely. I'm already in, so I don't know if it works or not. It doesn't make sense for me to go for the toppest of the top dashers. I mean, I hit top dasher, and I'm happy with where I'm at.
Yeah. That's
right. Well, that's why I'm going for 100 because of the theory that's been put out by Sin City and everybody in that market and that Discord. You know, so I want to give that a fair shake because.
Right.
I'm basing my information off of doing this last year at 70 to 73% for 2 or 3 months. And,
that's a bottom top dasher.
Yeah.
Bottom top. That's an oxymoron, isn't it? Like a bottom top.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, let me ask KF and Levi something. So KF.
Okay.
What is your acceptance rate right now on DoorDash?
42.
Okay, Levi, what's yours on the apps? Whatever apps you run, what's your acceptance rates?
Well, I mean, I don't believe in acceptance rates on any app I run, so mine's like 18% on Spark and like I think it's like 10% on DoorDash, but I ain't ran DoorDash in like a month, so.
Okay, Joe, what's your acceptance rate? Hold up, Joe's trying to show us. I can't. 33. Okay, and he's got a nice 5.0. Nice job on the customer rating, sir.
Hey, Drew, here's the thing, though, is that if you're taking $2.50 orders, you're probably driving in upwards somewhere from a half a mile to at least 2 miles, right? So my thing is that I'm looking at dollars to miles ratio because I think a lot of times, even though different markets will have different types of like, hey, top dashers are doing really good versus people who are cherry picking, right? I think that dollars to mile ratio and how you maintain that, I think plays a significant role in your profitability. Now, I know that there are other variables that are outside of that, so this is not like a one-size-fits-all type of like, I think I have it all figured out. But I do think that how many miles you're putting on versus how many dollars you're being paid and compensated for, I think is a big, big pillar of profitability. And I think that plays a role in every single market and is a universal thing that everybody's looking at. And when you talk about no tip, no trip 2.0, I think that's a huge portion of it. When these guys are not taking $2 orders, it's because they're basically saying, look, my time is worth X amount of dollars, and if you don't fit that category, that protocol, then I'm not going to do business with you. And I think that's an important thing that's really empowered the community and given all of us an opportunity to just reevaluate the decisions we're making on the road and how much we're able to maintain in terms of income coming in and maintaining profitability after taxes. Because, mind you, depreciation, guys, if I'm not mistaken, is around, 54 cents a mile to 59 cents a mile? That's what the United States government considers depreciation.
56 and a half, something like that. Yeah, it's somewhere in that range. Yeah.
I heard it's going to 60% or 60 cents.
60 cents. So you could say roughly somewhere between 55 to 60 cents. We'll just say somewhere around there, right? So when I think that when you're factoring in your profitability and looking at how you're doing in terms of new drivers, like everybody here is a familiar driver. That's probably why we're following each other's channels, or we're kind of at least on your channel, Pedro. But what about the new guys that are saturating our market right now? How do we stay ahead of the curve? And I think in terms of empowering each other with information, good decision making, giving each other tips and saying, hey man, you over there in Tennessee, like how are you rounding out your trips, dog? If you're multi-apping, like what are you doing? Like do you have any types of just things that you're looking for in terms of filtering out or vetting out orders that make no sense? I think those things can be universal to every market. And I think the more things that we identify that are universal to every market, the more we find common ground on helping each other, empowering each other, and getting each other to elevate our performance and thus providing better customer service, thus reinforcing the gig economy and making sure that we have job security.
Listen, You just why don't you can you make a video for me tomorrow? Just make a video on my channel. You said it better than I could, right? Like I think you're right. Like I think at the end of the day, and I try to do this, but sometimes I get sidetracked and I get petty or I get in my feelings.
No, Pedro. It turns out that you're just human after all, brother.
Well, I know, right? Human. Some people think I'm not. Yeah. I'm not a robot, guys. Trust me, I'm not a robot. So.
No, but listen. We all have a perspective in terms of because we're passionate about this because either we're doing this part-time 15, 20 hours a week and it means something to us, or we're doing 40, 50 hours a week and it means even more to us because it's a backbone of our lifeline, right? Because we have families out there. We're single or whatever the case is. But my thing is this. The more that we empower each other, the more that we basically elevate the standard of service, elevate performance, elevate what we're doing in terms of crunching. Listen, when I heard the guy talking about 4 orders in 1 hour, I was like, yo, dog, I want to get on that guy's level because I ain't on that level yet, dog. Like, I'm not on that level. But the thing is, because of watching your channel and because of listening to these other gentlemen on the panel with me right now, hey, man, I'm able to take these things and implement them tomorrow, which means that customers are going to benefit from what you guys are talking about tonight. So the impact, the ripple effect that we can have on each other, I think that we're human beings and we can be petty sometimes and we can be who we are and that's just what we are. We're not angels. We don't profess to be. But the more that we create content that we empower each other and elevate the game and elevate the standard and the expectation of service, the more that we're creating our job security, the more that we're putting dollars and cents into our pockets, into our families' pockets. And I think it's an important thing. And Pedro, you're kind of the catalyst. You're doing these things, though.
No, I get it. I'm wanting to see the problem. This is the catalyst, whatever. The problem is I'm on here every freaking day. So it's just,
no, it's not a problem.
No, it's not a problem.
It's not a problem.
I'm not complaining. What I'm saying is I'm on here every day.
There's thousands of people that lose their mind if you weren't.
It's just like I'm just feeding, it's just all that. So Tony, if you want to unmute and jump in, my friend, I see you.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to just mention that I'm probably just going to do Top Dashers this month to qualify for next month, and then finish next month the way that if you want to be a Top Dasher, cherry picker, whatever, doing the last 4 to 5 days of orders.
Right.
And then that'll be it for me because I don't use DoorDash enough to even waste my time doing that.
No, I hear you. I know you're definitely the rideshare. That's where your bread and butter is. So for you're going to be losing some income possibly if you do too much of that. Yeah, that's not good.
It's really about getting that big bag. Because those orders come whether you're Top Dasher or not.
I will apply for that and hopefully get that large order program. And then the other point I wanted to make, and then I'll either mute until you got something to ask me or
gotcha.
Let you wrap up the panel, is I've been thinking about this customer service thing, and I know that everybody's got their own opinion of customer service, but angry at somebody who doesn't tip. Isn't it better customer service for you providing that person a customer service by not accepting their order and letting somebody who won't be frustrated take it?
You know what? I don't. Let me, Levi and Joe and KF. What are your thoughts on what Tony just said?
Listen, I think that the most important thing that we could do is let customers get matched up with whoever is the best fit for that order, okay? So we all have to decide for our personal standards, our boundaries, and then also, too, like your schedule, your direction. There's so many things that are going to factor into each decision that you're making in every order that you're accepting, right? I think that the best thing we can do, like you said, for customer service is, hey, man, that's not going to be an order that I'm going to be best positioned either because I'm not interested in it, because I don't want to drive it, it's too far away, it doesn't make sense with what I'm doing at that moment in time or with the area of town that I'm in or going. So I think he's right. Like, hey, man, best customer service is not taking it. Don't take it so that somebody better suited for that order can take that order, thus making sure that customer's satisfied, thus making sure that they might order again on said platform.
Also, it's doing what's right for our customer rating. You know what I mean? I've got a 5-star customer rating, and what I preach to all the other new dashers I see out there is you keep that rating high by not taking the no-tip orders.
Yes.
Right? Because the people who don't tip, we've heard it a million times from all of us, are the same people who are right on there to text you right away, hey, where's my order, what's going on? Or the same people who steal orders, or just because they feel like it's funny, hey, I'm going to give this guy a 1-star. they don't take into consideration that it actually affects the people out here doing this. You know what I mean? So you just stay away from those orders, and your customer ratings stay good. I mean, in my experience.
Yeah, I think that we're still part of like an ever-growing kind of like still kind of in its infancy stage of this economy, and I think that we're creating the standard of service on our end as drivers in terms of the fact that we are independent contractors. So what that means is the more times that we're declining these no-tip, no-trip orders that just don't make sense for almost anybody, but at least for yourself, it doesn't make sense for you, then you're filtering out some of this where these people eventually are going to get the point, listen, I can't, my order's not getting fulfilled, or it's taking too long, or it's just not getting accepted altogether. Whatever the case is, people are going to start understanding that in this economy that you have to compensate service, okay? And at the end of the day, a little $2, $3 tip, I'll take those. I'll compensate a little bit on miles because, to be fair, like if I have a regular job, guys, I'm driving a couple miles to and from my job every day, so I got to give a few miles a little bit every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't just take, oh, it's got to be a $5 tip or more. No, I've shown on camera multiple times. I've delivered some non-tips. I've taken some 425s when it's slow, going a mile or two all day.
What's right for you?
Yeah, somebody throws me a couple bucks. Hey, I'm grateful for that. Like, that's cool. Like, it's all
here's
good.
The thing that
I'm not gonna knowingly take a tip. I'm not gonna knowingly take an offer that doesn't have a tip. For me, that's just setting up for a bad experience on their end and mine. So
exactly. And I think too, like on down hours, like here in Austin, like the 3 to 6 p.m. is like a slow period. So the type of order that I'm going to take in that hour period, that bracket, if I'm going all day, if I'm doing like a full 10-hour day, I'm going to kind of adjust my approach in that time because it's a little bit slower, and I need to loosen up a little bit and be willing to take a little bit, right? But you know, those peak hours, hey man, I'm got to look at that dollars to mile ratio because I got to manage the gas tank and what I have available to me, those resources.
Yeah. Let me read this comment real quick. Real Talk with Roy says, you can't empower a community, so he's talking to me, when you degrade a large number of them by how they choose to do their work. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely have an opinion on drivers that take orders with no tips or ones that beg for tips. For sure, I definitely do. And I know Roy. Roy hates non-tippers. He's openly admitted it. He actually takes soda bottles. When he works at Domino's, he has a soda bottle. He'll shake the soda if it's a non-tip order. So, I mean, I don't know what Roy's trying to get at here, but, I mean, that's a good delivery driver.
Here's the one thing I would wonder is I'm wondering who's degrading a large number of drivers.
I am. I'm degrading a large number, but that's from the guy that shakes customers' food. So, I mean.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So, I'll say this.
I mean,
Hey Joe, forgive me for talking over the conversation. So I apologize. I've just been waiting to talk to you for so long, dog.
Oh, it's all good, dude. It's all good.
So here's the thing. I don't have a channel. I don't have any channel. I've never been on. I don't have any presence online whatsoever. I've been following you.
I think you need one.
What's that?
I think you need one.
Hold on. I'm gonna bring Roy in. There he is.
So here's the thing. All of you guys are like the pros that I've been kind of looking at. I'm noticing some names here. All these guys on this panel. It's either I feel like I've recognized them or I've seen them in chat or something like that. But my thing is this, man. I don't think that you degrade anybody, Pedro. I think that you're passionate and you have opinions, and that's your personality, and that's okay. I would love to create a channel and partner up with you and do videos with you, whatever the case is. I've been looking for a long time to be able to see these guys, man. These excuse my language. I'm sorry. I'm just excited.
Roy's about to drop some F-bombs, so you're just warming Roy up.
No. I'll try to keep it clean.
Listen, man. You know, everybody's welcome on this channel, and Roy knows what I'm talking about because I know.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Roy knows what I'm talking about.
Let me explain that comment. It wasn't strictly at Pedro. There is many channels that come on here and degrade drivers on a regular basis, calling them clowns. You know, and like I said, it's everybody's personal opinion. Call them whatever you want. It's your choice. But if you're trying to bring a community together, if you're trying to teach these people a way of doing it in a better way, your way, or whatever the case may be, you can't call them clowns. You can't call them retarded or whatever the case may be because they choose to do their business the way they do it, whether they're new or whether they're old school. If they're old school and they choose to do this way, non-tippers, more power to them. That's their choice. If they're new, they haven't learned, you're never going to teach them by degrading them, calling them bad names, you know, calling them out, saying you're the reason why we're not making money is because of people like you. All you're doing is degrading them at that point. And when you start to degrade people look at you in a certain way and say, you know what, this guy's just being a dick. I don't even want to deal with him. Why would I want to listen to him?
Listen, I think the only thing is,
I am the one. I do not take non-tipped orders. I don't. My W-2 job, when he said I shake up sodas and stuff, yes, I'm a dick because I have no choice. I have to take these orders.
Roy, can I push back on you a little bit?
Yes, feel free.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. Okay, I do. I get it because I'm guilty. Like I get it. You're bringing up a good, very valid point. But I also think we have to remember, like, to me at least, and this goes to what KF was saying earlier, and actually what Joe was saying, right, as well, and Tony, right? Tony was the one that started this, I think, Driven Dad. So isn't it better? Shouldn't we just allow customers or drivers that want to take the low ones, and leave the good ones for whoever wants to take the good ones? Because you want that experience to be matched, right? Because I'll tell you this: if you're my Domino's driver and I got $10 cash tip for you, but you shook my soda, I'm pissed off, right? So
there's a difference there. I'm not gonna shake up your soda.
What's the difference? Because
I'm not gonna shake your soda. If you got a cash tip or a cash order, there's a difference. I'm not gonna shake your soda up. Also,
you don't know.
I haven't put
that camera out there at all.
No, I only work. You guys got to remember, as a Domino's driver, I only work within a 2-mile radius of the store. So I know every customer that I deliver to because I deliver 5, 6, 10, 12 times to the same customer within a month's time. So I know who tips and who I don't tip. If I go to Pedro's and he throws me a cash tip, I'm going to remember Pedro because Pedro hooked me up with a cash tip. Pedro ain't going to get his shit shook up. He's not going to get it. I'm talking when I shake up somebody's soda or whatever the case may be, these are the ones that they don't tip on a regular basis. We're talking $80 pizza orders they don't tip. And they do this on a regular basis because I deliver to the same people 10, 12, sometimes 20 times a month, and they choose not to tip. Mm-hmm. So there's a little bit of a difference there when it comes to that, and I'm forced to take non-tips. If I could, at Domino's, say, hey, non-tipper, I don't want to take them like I can with Doordash, guess what? Nobody would have a shook-up soda. But
let me ask you. So why are you spending so much time with Domino's? Is it just in your area that Domino's is kind of where you have to anchor down to be able, like, are you not able to make money on the other apps in terms of Uber Eats?
No. The reason I do Domino's is because I had first of all, I had to have a W-2 to get my car. Because a long story short, I was homeless. I lost my job with Lyft because I caught a case. So there's a whole story behind it. So I was homeless. I had, my car had to have a W-2 job. So I love to deliver. I love to deliver.
My thing is this, guys. There's a lot of ways.
Hold on. I don't want to skim over what Roy just said. Roy says he loves to deliver. I believe that. I believe it. He has more total trips than I do, right? Like he's done Uber, Lyft, right? But the only thing I'll push back at you is like, you only love to deliver to people that tip you. So we're the same person, Roy.
Well, yeah,
you see what I'm saying, though, right?
Oh, I understand what I'm saying because I'm the same way as you. I don't believe putting my life and my property on the line for some cheap son bitch. I don't believe in that. I believe, hey, I'm going out there, I'm doing you a service, I put my life and my property on the line every day. You need to show appreciation for that. But at the same time, you won't catch me on my channel calling people clowns because they choose to do it their way. You don't ever see me doing that. I won't agree with them, but I'm not going to sit there and try to degrade them because I don't know we've been over this. I don't know their situation. Same with me. I was homeless. I would have took $3 orders if it meant I didn't have to eat out of the garbage can.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. What's affecting you more right now in your day in, day out? The inability to vet out these non-tip orders, which we can all do, and basically, or is it theft occurring within drivers within our platforms that are stealing orders and canceling out or unassigning orders after they go to these places and pick these up because some of these restaurants still have these little side castles where they can just basically just pick orders out and just do whatever. I don't know what's going on in your cities, but theft is one of the biggest things that affects me in my market.
Drop a comment down below what y'all think about that clip. Don't miss the Sunday live show. We have a good time. StreamYard links always open. At the end, my man was talking about orders being stolen. That clip will be out soon. Have a great day.
you like this video or others, check out this one here. Consider hitting subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments.